The third movement of the Abyssinian Mass is the Lord's Prayer. Marsalis opens this movement with an expressive solo coming from the baritone saxophone. Many of you are familiar with the Malott version of the Lord's Prayer. I'll have Joré Nance now do our arrangement in the style of Malott. But of course, who better could set this well-known prayer musically for the voice than Marsalis?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Lord, give us this day our daily bread. Deliver us from evil. Thank you, Lord. For thine is the kingdom, for thine is the kingdom, for thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever and ever. In thy holy name.
As you're attempting to execute the performance of this movement, by no means do you have to do it the way that we just performed it. For example, I've set the mindset and mentality of each singer to be fluid and to be able to be expressive in the moment with spontaneity. Because a prayer in the style of the African American diaspora in the church experience is never repetitive, never such where people repeat the same thing over and over the same way. Even though the words of the Lord's Prayer can be recited by many people who attend church, non-church goers, and even those who may know it as poetry, in the experience of a church service on a Sunday morning, those words encompass and envelop the experience of those people with what they experienced, went through, and what transpired in their lives that particular week, possibly that particular day, maybe even that very hour. So in the performance style of the Lord's Prayer, the one leading it must be sensitive to an ebbing flow of fluidity and passion. For example, we may do it this way.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it was in heaven. Lord, give us this day our daily bread.
One stylistic element that I chose to add was the instance or the use of switching between a classical singing style and that of a jazz choir. At the very end of the movement, the last 3-4 measures, the singers are pretty much singing at a place where their voice is in full extension on the word ever. Of course, we know in choral music you usually spell from the bottom up. And then the chord is resolved at measure 70. And at the second to the last measure, I love it when the singers switch from a classical sound to that of a jazz choir, a jazz chorale, a jazz quartet. And this is done by paying very careful attention to each changing note in each voice. In thy holy name. We're going to give you an example of that. We're going to sing 5 measures from the end and pay careful attention in the second to last measure as the style changes.